So here I was, just sitting down, thinking about how crazy it is that there's still no Dark Souls servers on PC. And, still kind of looking for the price of a weasel. But then I got to thinking about Elden Ring, and how there's so many good weapons in Elden Ring, and pretty much so many people just use, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 different weapons. So I started wondering how many lists there are that rank the best weapons in Elden Ring. So I decided to look it up and realize there's quite a few. Now, of course, there's not really any recent ones because most of these journalists and news articles really played it one singular time in the first month of the release and then never played it again. So I wanted to go ahead and go back in time and pretty much see what people thought were the best weapons in Elden Ring during those times. I'm sure some of these lists would probably be more updated as more patches have happened, especially after the most recent patch. And I have my own opinion. But what I want to do is rank the ranking lists and see which one has consistently the best top weapons in Elden Ring. So I have 4 different lists that I picked out. I'm going to go from right to left, starting off with GameSpot, the best weapons in Elden Ring. This came out on May 5th, so it's actually a couple of months after the full release of Elden Ring. I think people by this point had pretty much all finished the game, had kind of explored the meta a little bit, so this should for the most part be a sort of pretty decent list. I haven't really looked at any of these, but I'm going to go ahead and say probably number 1 or number 2 on every single one of these lists, maybe interchangeable, is going to be Rivers of Blood and Moonveil. Now, that's just my full-on guess when it comes to these because, well, they're basically the 2 most used weapons in all of Elden Ring and arguably the best weapons in all of Elden Ring. Maybe not anymore, but definitely right up there still as some of the best. So I'm going to go ahead and see what the best weapons are. So I want to see how they actually rank them for GameSpot. So they're for this one, they actually have like categorized. So best straight sword, best axe, all that different stuff. So the best straight sword they have is the Sword of Night and Flame. Now, I believe this was before the Sword of Night and Flame patch. While this weapon was nerfed by the developers, never mind. It still possesses great power for strength/dexterity or intelligence and faith builds. Now I thought I'd go ahead and bring up a list of all the other straight swords to kind of just have a little look over them. And for me, I'd probably go ahead and agree. I would most likely put the best either the Sword of Night and Flame or the Warhawk Talons, being such great weapons on pretty much most any builds, with the interchangeable Ash of War as well. So that's not a bad start off to the list. So honestly, not too bad. The best katanas, Moonveil. Okay, so kind of expected there that it was going to be like Moonveil or Rivers of Blood. Rivers of Blood is also, I guess, like an honorable mention. I like how these 2 weapons are so good. They're like, you know what? We're going to have 2, Moonveil and River. We couldn't pick either one. But one of them is an upgrade, and then one of them is +9, so we can see which weapon this guy probably uses, huh? The best greatsword, Dark Moon Greatsword, huh? Another famous Elden Ring weapon. The Dark Moon Greatsword is arguably the best intelligence weapon in the Lands Between. I don't know about that one. Players might think a staff would hold that title. Definitely not. A goddamn, imagine a staff being like, yeah, that's the best int weapon, a staff. I would easily put the Dark Moon Greatsword over every single staff. The Dark Moon Greatsword features one of the best Ashes of War. I would actually probably consider one of the worst Ashes of War, but I guess it's not terrible. I wouldn't rank it as the worst either, so I guess, like, it's not too bad. Let's be honest. Greatswords are pretty piss poor in Elden Ring, sadly. They've kind of gotten the bad end when it comes to movesets and really the capability of the weapon in PvP. And I guess, by the way, I'm talking about mostly PvP, but I guess I'll take PvE into consideration. And Moonlight Greatsword is a pretty good choice for an alright weapon in PvP, and probably a pretty decent weapon if you have like a full-on int build in PvE. I'd probably give best Greatsword title to the Blasphemous Blade, being that it has such a good Ash of War. When it comes to PvE, most likely consider it the best greatsword. But it is kind of bad for PvP, to be honest. When it comes to PvP, there really isn't anything better than the Claymore. Interchangeable Ash of War, and it has pokes, which is basically one of the best movesets that you can possibly have in Elden Ring. Moray's Executioner Sword, honestly, is also not bad, but it has such a specific build requirement. But when you have a proper build for PvP with this thing, it can one-shot anything. And then I'd probably give an honorable mention to the Death Poker. But yeah, overall, to be honest, I'd probably give it to the Blasphemous Blade as the best greatsword. But Darkmoon Greatsword, not bad. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Blasphemous Blade actually did get an honorable mention. To the best curved sword, the Bloodhound Fang. Bloodhound Fang is arguably the best early game weapon in all of Elden Ring. I'm not really going to complain. I think it's definitely right up there as one of the best. Honestly, overall, curved greatswords are pretty damn sweet in this game. You can really not go wrong with most weapons. And Bloodhound Fang is a pretty damn good choice because it's going to be good on just about everything. Honestly, not a bad choice. I would most likely also consider it the best of the curved greatswords. Although, God, Morgoth's Cursed Sword is just so fun. It's kind of hard to choose between those two, but Bloodhound Fang, honestly, not bad. Best Colossal Swords, Grafted Greatsword. What is that doing here? There's arguably not a better weapon to use if players have 40 points in strength. There's so many better weapons. I think that this is in here because he knows that the Ash of War gives you like a big boost in a bunch of different stats. But I mean, I would consider it one of the worst Ultra Great, like definitely one of the least used Ultra Greatswords. Right off the top of the list, Zweihander, better. Greatsword, better. Watchdog Greatsword, better. Troll's Golden Sword, better. Troll's Night Sword, Royal Greatsword, better. Ruin Greatsword, better. Star Scourge, better. Godslayer Greatsword, probably worse. Malekith's Black Blade, definitely better. I don't know what the Grafted Blade, I think literally it's because you get it so early. And then the Star Scourge Greatsword as another of the Ultra Greatswords. They're being, I think, just, wait, best Colossal Weapon, wait. Oh, okay, so wait, there's more? And then they named the best Colossal Weapon the Falling Beastjaw, which, I'm going to be honest, I bet he probably didn't. I'm going to say it right. I don't think he used the Falling Beastjaw. Not to say that it's not good, because honestly, I do consider this one of the best Colossal Weapons. But I feel like people didn't really discover that for a while. Honestly, did he at least mention the Ash of War being so good? Falling Beastjaw is the only Colossal Weapon in Elden Ring to feature more than just physical damage. Okay, this has physical and also lightning. This has physical and holy. This also has physical and holy. So there's a few. But yeah, you know what? More than just physical damage, this sword also deals magic damage but doesn't require a high intelligence stat to wield, which is, I mean, 20 is sort of high, but I guess for Elden Ring, not really. To be honest, I'd probably go ahead and say that the Falling Beastjaw is most likely my second favorite when it comes to the actual Colossal weapons. I'd probably consider Giant Crusher my favorite, and what I would consider the best. But honestly, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. For the best dagger, we have Reduvia. Honestly, I'd probably go with the same. It's got really good bleed, it's fast, bleed builds are insanely strong in this game, so yeah, I'd probably also give it to Reduvia. The best bow is the pulley bow. Honestly, I don't know shit about bows. The best... Huh? I could easily say that the reason he picked this axe is because of Hoarfrost Stomp. He saw everybody using it because it was a weapon that easily, right from the beginning, had Hoarfrost Stomp. And basically every speedrunner was using the shit out of that. Okay, there's not really much thought put into the best axes. But let's be honest, axes in this game are kind of shit. There's not really many options here. To be honest, there's a couple of decent ones, and I just recently discovered this bad boy here. Oh, let me tell you, god damn, the Stormhawk axe. If you've never used the Stormhawk axe, that is the best axe in the frickin' game. And I'll probably have a video on that here pretty soon. You'll see. And then for the best staffs, you have the Meteorite Staff. I can see why he put that in there. You know, basically, I would say 50% of mages, all they do is they pick the cool purple staff and they literally sit in the back and just shoot that one stupid ass gravity spell that just has those 3 rocks, and then the 3 rocks slowly go towards the enemy. Half of the people do that when I invade them. It's honestly one of the best signs of like the worst players, and it has an S scaling, especially if you use like the gravity things. It does more damage with them, and a pretty low requirement when it comes to intelligence, so I can see why that's right there as the best staff. And it looks like really that's it. There's no I don't think there's any curved swords, are there? apparently he put the Carrion Regal Scepter as well. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's like regular curved swords and stuff like that, even though I'd probably consider them the best classes in the game, aside from katanas, of course. But honestly, like, not a terrible list. I would say it's a pretty good start, and hopefully, oh god, I have a bad feeling it's only gonna be worse from here on out. Alright, next up we have Ollie Gaming. I don't think I've ever heard of this news publication, but again, I just googled best weapons in Elden Ring. Top 15 best weapons in Elden Ring. This was pretty much like a couple weeks after Elden Ring came out. March 5th. The best weapons in Elden Ring. The Uchi Katana. I'm assuming this is going to go from 15 to 1, right? Probably. The Uchi Katana is the 15th best weapon in the game. Not gonna lie, I'd probably consider it one of the best weapons in the game for sure. Like, you get it so early, and popping on like Unsheath on it is so damn good. You'll see even like a shit ton of speedrunners that use this when it comes to like rune level 1 or unupgraded stuff, because this with Unsheath is pretty damn fantastic, and like almost no requirements when it comes to using it, so not bad. Star Scourge Great. Why does everybody put Star Scourge Greatsword? That's back-to-back list that put Star Scourge Greatswords. Listen, they're good, but Star Scourge Greatswords? Alright. Moonveil. Okay, maybe this is definitely not going from 15 to 1. I like how it specifically mentions, like, the Ash 4 is so good that some YouTubers call it broken. Which, that's still the case, to be honest. Hey, hello, it's me, I'm one of them. Okay, so this is just a list of like best weapons. It's not really like a top 15, but let's keep going. What the fuck did you just put in the list? Did you just seriously put the Battle Hammer as one of the 15 best weapons in all of Elden Ring? The Battle Hammer. They couldn't even get a high-res PNG for this shit. Look, this 240p. And you're telling me this 200 by 200 image is one of the 15 best? Oh, hell no. This is instantly spiraled down to one of the worst. This is instantly worse than the other one. And this is coming from somebody who used a battle hammer in their playthrough. Alright, Blasphemous Blade. At least they redeemed themselves with a great weapon. Wing Scythe, the fucking scythe that stops people from healing. Not surprised there. Basically, everybody used that. Bloodhound Fang. Wait, I like, by the way, that their picture is the boss using the Bloodhound Fang, but them using a katana. They're like, well, shit, man, we can't bother getting a Bloodhound Fang picture for ourselves. Who do you think we are, GameSpot? We're Ollie Gaming. We get what we can find on Google's first page. The Golden Halberd, which, I mean, it's not bad, but like 15 best? The Tree Spear? I feel like this weapon has come out more often now because of its like odd moveset and you know, being a poke weapon and all that. But yeah, I don't know if I'd put it on the 15. The fucking grafted. Why am I seeing the grafted blade greatsword again? You know what? I want their explanation for it. Well, the boss that drops it isn't particularly hard. Going in underleveled makes him a very tough nut to crack. All that is worth it though. For the reward is a contender for Elden Ring's best strength weapon. It's not. The Grafted Greatsword has some of the highest base strength requirements in Elden Ring, requiring a strength of level 40. It also has a strength scaling of C, making it one of the best strength weapons in Elden Ring. I think they just go like high scaling, one of the best. Which is weird why we don't see something like the, you know, Greatsword in here. It cannot be buffed and infused, but it's exceptional arty. What? I'm assuming they meant to say art of... Ash? Oh, I don't even know. Due to its strength, it's good in PvE and PvP. The Night Rider Flail. They put the Night Rider Flail in the 15 best weapons in Elden Ring. I can guarantee they did not upgrade this thing past +5. They just checked their inventories to see what they had after 2 weeks of playing Elden Ring for 8 hours. The Carrion Regal Scepter, the thing that requires 60 int, is one of the best weapons. The Moonlight Greatsword. Again, they just take a screenshot from Google and just go, that's it right there. You get the Moonlight Greatsword by getting the Dark Moon Greatsword. Wait, what? You get the Moonlight Greatsword by getting the Dark Moon Greatsword. That's a weird ass sentence. The Coated Sword. Sword of Night and Flame. Dude, Okay, so I think definitely what happened was what I said. It was they checked their inventory to see what they had after a couple of weeks of playing the video game. And then we're like, all right, put all of them in our list because we only have 16 and one of them is a fist weapon. What is that red one there, sir? Rivers of... no, that's a shit weapon. Don't even put it on the list. Honestly, that's a shocker to me. I did not expect to see a list where the Rivers of Blood wasn't even in it. But the coated sword was. Holy shit, what a list. Maybe I did see they had. Is this a more updated list? Okay, I think they actually have an updated list. Now, this has gotten worse since then. This is over a month after this one. This new updated list is over a month, almost 2 months after the first list. Okay, so let's look at the new list. I'll put that right here. All right, the Royal Greatsword. It's a good start, I guess, but the Royal Greatsword, it already doesn't bode well. Let's just quickly go through these because we're spending too much time on this website. Scepter of the All-Knowing as as one of the best weapons in all of Elden Ring. Okay, Scepter, the Onyx Lord Greatsword. I don't think anybody's ever used the Onyx Lord Greatsword. 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, now we can go into the comments and see all the comments of people saying that they use the Onyx Lord Greatsword literally every single day and it's the greatest weapon of all time. You already know they're going to be down there. That's why I gave them some space so they could pause it, write their comment, and now they're listening to this part. Let's see if they delete it. You better not delete that comment, Jeffrey. Lasat's Glintstone Staff. It's probably the best staff in the game. At least that's right. Glintstone fucking Chris. Falling Star Beastjaw. Alright, good weapon. Lazuli Glintstone Sword. Wait, are they doing like weapons that they didn't add to their list? It just says best weapons. Okay, Lazuli Glintstone Sword. Loretta's War Sickle. Okay, this seriously nobody has used. And that's not even saying and trying to bait out comments. No, literally nobody has used that weapon. The Death Poker. Okay, the Death Poker is a great weapon for PvE. The Bastard Star. That's not good in any sense. It just looks cool. Probably the coolest looking weapon, but it's just so bad. Star Scourge Greatsword. Okay, so they actually have... Wait, did they have Star Scourge in their other list? They did. Okay, so it's not like they're not repeating weapons. It's like they reevaluated their list and we're like, Wing of Estelle? Wait, the Prince of what staff? That's not even a weapon in the game. I thought that was just a decoration. That's there for lore. People use that shit. And then Moonveil. Alright, well, the list got worse, you guys. I don't know how, but it got worse. Holy shit. Listen, the other two lists have to do a really bad job if they end up losing to these like 2 lists. Because these, man. Let's just move on to the next one. Rock, Paper, Shotgun. Again, it's just when it comes to lists, I just looked up to see what lists there were, and there weren't too many, to be honest. Most of them were probably out of the even search engine page. Maybe I should have gone to page 82 of Google to see what the hell was in there. But Elden Ring's best weapons, 24 best weapons in Elden Ring and how to get them. At least it tells you how to get them, you know what? That's kind of nice. 24, that's a lot, goddamn. Why is Gabe there? Why is he looking at me? Hey, look at that, though. At least there's actually a pretty nice format when it comes to these. It's pretty good. Best early weapons in Elden Ring. Okay, Reduvia, Uchi, the Great Epi. Hey, I haven't seen the Great Epi, and the Great Epi is pretty great. Not a pun, okay? Unintended. Best strength weapons. Prelate Inferno Crozier. I mean, it's a strong weapon. I guess it's a good strength weapon, yeah. A fucking brick hammer. Honestly, like 2 days ago, I was playing a mod and I found this thing and I didn't even know it was in the game. I thought it was a modded weapon into it. The brick hammer? Come on, man. Fucking grafted. I'm sick of seeing the goddamn grafted blade greatsword. I'm gonna take it out of my inventory once I go back and play it. And then the broadsword as one of the best strength weapons. Okay. Best dexterity weapons. Bloodhound Fang. Godskin Peeler. Hand of Melania. It's the first time I've seen Hand of Melania. It's one of the best weapons in the game, so that's good at least. Nagakiba. Okay. Best faith weapons. I guess it has a lot. I guess it's like faith strength. Blasphemous Blade, Sword of Night and Flame, Sacred Relic Sword, I guess, yeah, it's good for like spamming and stuff. The weapon itself, I think, is kind of bad, but it's good for the annoying ass Ash of War, man. And then the Black Knife. Best bleed weapons, Rivers of Blood, Giza's Wheel, Ignore Harass, Eleanor's Pole Blade. Best int weapons, Dark Moonlight Greatsword, Wing of Estelle, okay. Moonveil? I would say, this game has good int weapons, huh? I need to use the Wing of Estelle, I haven't used it. Arcane weapons, honestly you should put Rivers of Blood in there. Frickin' Mogwin Spear, that right there, by the way, is a weapon that I'm surprised we haven't seen more of on these lists. I think it honestly deserves to be on like most of these lists. This weapon is so goddamn good. But I guess you had to have like knowledge of like building a build to make this thing good. And you have to do that really hard thing where you press L2. That honestly, that's the hardest thing about Elden Ring. Morai's Executioner's Sword, look at that. They actually put the Regalia of Eocade. Best scaling weapons in Elden Ring. And then you just have a bunch of weapons, every single weapon that has an S scaling. Oh, you know what, like, not a horrible list, but, you know, it was executed well. I like the screenshots, I like the whole stats behind it and the skills. It was a well put together list and not terribly offensive. Ignore Harass. So not bad, honestly. And on to our, I guess, fifth and final list of the 15 best weapons in Elden Ring rank. And then after this, we're going to be ranking the list themselves. So this one is actually, you know, a top 15, so the bottoms will be what they consider the best. At least I see Guts' Greatsword in here, and thank God I don't see the grafted motherfucking blade greatsword. Okay, the goddamn Icewind Hatchet. When did this come out? May. Icewind Hatchet was patched since then. To be honest, I think they made this list like just look back at what used to be the best weapons in the game. Again, Icewind Hatchet, nobody gave a shit about the weapon itself. People like it because it has Hoarfrost Stomp, and then after it was patched, Hoarfrost Stomp became shit. So nobody used it. But alright, 15, 14. 14 on the 15 best weapons in all of Elden Ring is the Golden Order Seal. The Golden Order Seal. 13 on the 15 best the Prince of Death Staff. Again, I thought this was a I thought they put this in here for Vadi to read the item description. You know, I didn't even know people use this as a weapon. I thought people looked at it and go, oh, cool, and then moved on. Why is it on the list for the 15 best weapons? Giant Crusher. Okay, listen, if they if they would have put the Prince of Death Staff higher up than the Giant Crusher on the list, I would have closed the list immediately and ranked it the worst. And then number 11, Reduvia. Number 10, the Ruins Greatsword. Honestly, the Ruins Greatsword is pretty goddamn good. A lot of people use it. Really good scaling, high damage, and an amazing Ash of War. I ain't mad about that one. Hand of Melania. Okay. At number 9, a big ass katana. Giza's Wheel. Nobody uses Giza's Wheel. It's sad but true because it's such a cool looking weapon and it reminds me of my favorite weapon in Bloodborne. But like Giza's Wheel is so bad, or am I missing something? Number 7, the winged fucking scythe as the 7th best weapon in all of Elden Ring. I don't even think it's the best scythe, to be honest. But we'll move on. Sword of Night and Flame at number 6. This fucking Star Scourge Greatsword at number 5 of the best weapons. Blasphemous Blade. Okay, I would consider that to probably be in the top 5 of the best weapons when it comes to like mixing both PvE and PvP. I'd probably put that in the top 5. Eleanor's Pole Blade. I don't know if I would put that top 5, but it is very good. And then, hey, look at that. Guts' Greatsword at number 2. At least there's something else that I would put in my top 5 here. Because, yes, I would put Guts' Greatsword right up there as one of the best weapons. And number 1, Rivers of Blood. Not surprised. Honestly, a little bit weird I didn't see Moonveil in here. So, by his standard, Moonveil is worse than the Prince of Death's Staff? Okay. Okay. I have my rankings of the list. At number 1, we have GameSpot. I think GameSpot had probably the best list. It wasn't great, but even though they put the goddamn grafted blade greatsword. No, you know what? I'm changing my mind. This is number 1. Rock, paper, shotgun. The best list of the ones that I reviewed today. Number 1. Number 2, we can have it as GameSpot. And number 3, we have the top 15 Elden Ring best weapons from Ollie Gaming. At number 4, we have VG Kami's top 15s, and at an unexpected, like literally comes out of nowhere and just wins it all as the absolute worst list when it comes to the best weapons in Elden Ring. We have somehow the updated version of 3rd place. I don't know how they did it, but they somehow managed to outdo themselves. Honestly, like all these lists, man, were just all pretty goddamn bad, in my opinion. Not to say anything specific about people who wrote them or anything. I think in general, they're just bad lists. But that's also just my opinion. I bet I could make a list and people would shit on it, and hell, I might even do that in the future. I've done a list for feet, so why not do a list for the best weapons in Elden Ring? I guess if you guys want to see that, you guys can let me know, but this probably went on way longer than I expected. It was just a fun idea I had for a video. And if you guys want to see any more videos like this, do me a solid. Consider leaving a like on this video. If you're still watching, of course. Leave a comment on what you would consider, you know what, let's say your best top 5 weapons in Elden Ring. With no shame either. If you want to put the Rivers of Blood in there, you put it in there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.